The Holistic Garage, a tale of good intentions. I'd upset the mob, and if there's one thing more disconcerting than happy hoodlums, it's the miffed mafia. Don Corleone wanted my cojones for cannelloni, so it was time to leave Stevenage until the heat died down. And that's how I ended up running an organic garage on the wrong side of the tracks in Worthing. The principle of an organic garage is quite simple. Treat the whole car, not just the immediate symptoms. So, if the tappets are rattling like a bunch of oysters having a fight in a castanet factory, yes, you could just adjust them and make the engine quieter for a while. But how much better to realign the chakras of the entire car to produce balance and harmony from bumper to bumper. At first people were surprised when I moved the radiator from in front of their engine to behind the seats, but when I explained that it was absolutely rotten feng shui to have a body of water in that position, they quickly saw the reason, apart from the inevitable doubters and skeptics who said I was mental and went to quick fit. Oh yes, people found fault. Some people will always find fault with any new idea that challenges the established way of doing things. And there were teething problems. I fitted headlamps that gave off more light in those parts of the spectrum invisible to the human eye. They were intended to promote healing and well-being in the trees and animals that have to coexist beside the road and are all too often overlooked in the mad, gathering rush just to get from A to B. Unfortunately, the beneficial effects of that were largely undone by the number of trees and animals that were hit by people who couldn't see where they were going. It turned out that the lamps emitted very little light in the visible part of the spectrum. Most people know the year their car was made. Number plate's a bit of a clue there. But surprisingly few know the exact date and time it left the factory. And yet this is absolutely crucial information. You wouldn't want to perform a 50,000 mile service on any vehicle without knowing which sign of the zodiac it was made under. A Sagittarian Astra will almost certainly have clutch problems in later life, whereas a Taurian Focus will go through brake pads something shocking. The business grew steadily as drivers came to appreciate the simplicity that a crystal pendulum and a divining rod has over a diagnostic computer, and I came to appreciate how much cheaper they were and easier to program. But I suppose I always knew it couldn't last, and one dreadful day I heard a voice behind me that withered the alfalfa sprouts in my very stomach. "Hello, Star Spanner," it said. "Or shall I say, Colin?" I whirled round and saw him there. 6'5" of lager-fueled malevolence, the nemesis I'd run but failed to hide from. The man they call the chiropodist, for reasons I won't go into now. "We've been looking for you. We've got a little job for you." "Listen," I said, "I don't do that anymore." "Oh, I think you do," he said, "and I think you will. Otherwise, I'll be doing some acupuncture on you that will definitely rearrange the flow of energy through your meridians. Comprende?" I knew from his breath in my face that he hadn't been using thyme and rose petal toothpaste, and I could tell when he kicked me his boots definitely weren't vegan. "This is the blag," he said. "We're doing the Rustington branch of Holland and Barrett. You're the wheels man. Friday, 5 o'clock. Don't be late." Okay, I thought. One last job. I got a motor ready. God, I gave that baby everything I knew. Out went Castrol GTX, in went evening primrose oil. Out went the cardboard air filter, in went a whole natural sponge. Never mind 4-star, never mind unleaded. I got top quality homeopathic petrol, that is to say, water, with an almost infinitesimal trace of petrol in it. I didn't want anything to go wrong. The car blew up just as I was driving down Rustington High Street. I didn't have the AA or the RAC, so I called the nearest Buddhist monastery and asked them to send some monks to come round and chant. But the old Bill got there first, and through the confusion I heard the voice of my spirit guide telling me to do one. Go and commune with the ancients, he said, and learn their wisdom. But they wouldn't have me in Eastbourne, so now I live in a Neolithic burial chamber on Dartmoor. My only companion is a great and terrible hound. He seems to be holding on to a lot of anger, so I'm going to try treating him with some Bach flower remedies. I've got a very good feeling about this.